All right, let's go to the US, James. Big scenes, dramatic scenes there in the Congress today. For the first time in US history, the House of Representatives there voted their Speaker out of office. This is House Speaker, of course, Republican Kevin McCarthy. He has now vacated the position. He will not stand again, he says. He was pushed out by a Trump ally. What's going on?
Well, yeah, look, this was really disturbing. I watched this all play out live this morning here, Australia time. Essentially, there was a charge led by a Florida Republican named Matt Gaetz against Kevin McCarthy. Now, the issues he claimed it's about are things like failing on the promises to cut spending and failing on some other promises and things like that. But there's a lot of other issues around Matt Gaetz and some improprieties he's accused of that he's, that's messing up these waters here. The problem is now they don't have a speaker. Nobody knows who the next speaker is going to be. There's not a list of potential speakers like there should normally be in this case. The Republicans, I have to say, have really shot themselves in the foot on this one here. This is a really bad look for them. They just had a win avoiding a government shutdown, getting that spending package through, and, looking forward confidently to the next election. And now they are in an absolute shambles on Capitol Hill. It's all ego. People I've talked to in America right now say this is really dumb. And these are people on the right wing of the Republican Party saying this has been really dumb. It's great to watch, I guess, but it's terrible for an American political system, which is already crumbling under this sort of gerontocracy and everything else that it has, including, of course, the President Joe Biden.
Look, you're not wrong there. Gerontocracy is putting it mildly. Let's go to Victoria. Some shambles down there with the new Jacinta Allan-led government. Not even a week in now. But yesterday, of course, we saw the Treasurer Tim Pallas announce he'll introduce legislation to tax all vacant residential land across Victoria. Previously, it was only a couple of inner city suburban areas of Melbourne. Now it's across the state. Only we find out the new Premier's office, they say they were blindsided by the move. Pallas has responded, Sophie, saying Allan was aware of his plans, but then he hid out from the media, didn't take questions or respond to them either. This is a shocking tax, but not a good start for the Premier either.
Peter, this is a very bad look when Jacinta Allan's only been running the state for less than a week and there's already disarray with who's saying what and who's making what announcement. So very bad look for her. But I mean, they've got to put these taxes in because they're trying to pay back all this debt we've got. But who suffers? And Peter, it's obviously the Victorian taxpayers.
Now, I'm going to come back to you on this one, Sophie, because you're the Victorian here. Trade Minister Don Farrell, this is the Federal Trade Minister. Well, he was at the AFL Grand Final on the weekend, along with a lot of other MPs and corporates. And according to AFL legend Dermy Brereton, who was there signing autographs and taking selfies with the fans who were lining up, Don Farrell walked up to him, and this is, I'm quoting Dermy here, walked up to him, pushed to the front of the queue, and then said to Brereton, and I quote, "You have to have a photo with me." Here's Dermy.
And a shortish gentleman, well-dressed, sort of walked past them and put his arm around my waist, turned to his wife and said out loud to me, "I'm a minister of trade and tourism. You have to take a photo with me." And I said, "Well, that's great. I'm happy to take it, even though I didn't vote for you guys." And then he turned around to me and said, "Well, you will next time." And I said, "Well, if you do the same to this state as the last bloke who was running this state at the local level," I said, "there's no way I'll be voting for you." He said, "No, you will, you will."
This stuff is cringeworthy, Sophie, but good on Dermy for calling out the way Andrews ran the state into the ground.
Oh, look, the Victorian Liberals should be circling Peter around Dermy Brereton. Points to him for actually putting him back in his place. I mean, this is a shocking look again for a politician just waltzing up and thinking they own the place. Not a good look at all.